So I got sent over another case by Crystaltimes Horology. It is the CT702 case, which I already showed a build on in one of my previous videos. You can check that out by clicking the link right there somewhere. But this time it is in the black IP finish. So with the black case, I had to think of a design, and I thought a stealthy looking build would fit perfectly with this case. Again, it's a mixture of all original Seiko components plus aftermarket parts from Crystaltimes. I think it came out a lot nicer than I expected, like most of the builds I do, but you guys could be the judge of that. I'll have a link to this case and all of the other Crystaltimes parts in the description box below if you want to check them out. So enough talking, let's get on to the actual build. So for the movement, I chose the NH36 because I need both the day and date, and since it comes with white wheels, I have to change it out for black wheels for this stealth build. So I'm just removing the C-clip, then the day wheel to get access to the top plate, which I need to remove, as well as the inner plate to access the date mechanics. To prevent everything from flying out, I'm holding down the inner plates as I slowly get the date wheel out and replacing it with a black one. Just aligning up the date wheel here and covering it back up. So a good practice is to always make sure that everything is functioning before you proceed on to assembling everything else. So I'm just giving it a natural date change followed by the quick set change. So getting the black day wheel on and the C-clip. So I chose to use a black kanji day wheel for this build. Now to get some of the nicer tools out, I'm going to get my Dumont set of tweezers followed by my Bergen brass tweezer. So for the dial, I chose the Seiko Stargate OEM dial. I think it will pair nicely with the particular handset that I have in mind for this. Since it is purposed for a crown at 4 o'clock case, I didn't need to do any adjusting to the dial feet. This dial is a combination of both polished indices that aren't loomed and loomed, as you can see at the center circumference of the dial. So getting on the hour hand, I chose stick style hands for this build. It doesn't have a point at the end, it's blunt, but I think it'll go nicely with the shape of the indices that's on the Stargate dial. So I'm just aligning everything up prior to setting them with my hand setters. And I always like to make sure that the hour and minute hand is properly lined up before installing the seconds hand, just in case I need to do some final adjustments. So here I'm installing the seconds hand, giving a clean, and then checking the spacing. So here is the CT702 black IP case. Again, if you didn't know, this is a turtle style case that accepts all original Seiko SKX parts. The CT702 case is a great way to get a turtle style case for a build while having all the options available for the SKX. So compared to the SKX, the turtle doesn't have nearly as many options for modification parts, but this is now eliminated because you can use all of the SKX parts for this build. For the chaptering, I chose the CT204 Stealth, and to keep it aligned up, I first test fitted it by inserting the movement with the dial and hands, put some double-sided adhesive on the underside of the chaptering to make sure that it is properly aligned up. You can use other types of adhesives, but I found it pretty easy to use those double-sided tapes that come for installing bezel inserts. The crystal is a double-domed clear AR. The part number is CT037F, and the F stands for inserts that are going to be flat. So this allows the inserts to sit flush with the crystal. As always, you want to clean out everything. Make sure that there is no dust or lint particles underneath. And case everything back up. And again, this is my favorite part. So here I'm just checking for some final alignment to see that the indices properly align up with the dial. And so far, it's looking pretty good with that all black day-date wheel on top of that black dial. So for the crown, I chose the CT crown. This is the one with the edged S, also in black to match everything, and I had to adjust the stem to make it the proper size for the fit. So once in, I test for the quick set function to see if the crown is functioning as it should, and it is. So you can see that the NH36 is working fine. So because the internals are all complete, I can case this up because all that's left is the outside work. On to installing the caseback gasket, and always make sure to give this some lubrication to ensure a watertight seal. So I'm using the CT202RX style bezel. First, you need to install the click spring, which is the component that allows your bezel to click. And I always like to install some silicone grease on it to make the action a little bit smoother. As for the insert, I'm using a lumed ceramic bezel insert, the SKX style from DLW watches. And here is the final outcome. I'm very satisfied with how this design came out, especially that MM300 second hand. The all black and white finish of this watch makes it a really stealthy build, but also very legible because of the polished surfaces. Now all that's left is to tighten up the case back, and we are golden. Here is the CT702 conversion case stealth build. Shameless plug, I do offer watch modification services, so if you are interested, please shoot me an email to place an order. I'll have my email on the screen and in the description box below. So this build is for sale. If anybody wants to get dibs on it, shoot me an email and we can work out the details. And of course, you can pick up all the Crystaltimes parts that I've used in this video by checking out the links in the description box below. I really like the indices on the Stargate dial because the polished surfaces on the applied markers actually hide themselves in certain angles because they are a polished surface. So all that's left to see are the portions with the Lume bright attached. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you like content like this. And I hope you guys have a nice day.